and we unwittingly helped her promote her fraudulent crowdfunding effort.
Oh my God,
now, a streamer
that's
by
crazy.
The name of Muta. She's a con artist, she is a liar, and I have no idea what her ex was like or how her ex treated her. I'm just saying that because you should be very suspicious of any claim coming out of this woman's mouth. That wasn't actually the case. Kiwi Farms is up and running, stronger than ever, and she refused to accept that and acknowledge that.
Kiwi Farms won! 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 Yeah, this is, you know, the first, I think first kind of like, it's a bit weird because TYT is like a YouTube channel, you know, it is like a progressive news org, but it's a bit, you know, it would be a big deal if you had one of the big news, MSM newspapers come back off of it or something, right? So it's like not earth-shattering, and also TYT is kind of going in more of a base direction at times. But I don't think it's nothing. I think it's something for an outlet that has previously reported on the situation very positively and supported Keffals to now come out and say, actually, more information has come forward that demonstrates there was some fucking fraud at play. Like, Keffals is a fraud. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. What do they still have their previous coverage up? I can't find it. Just offhand, I can't find it at least, unless I'm not searching for it correctly. I kind of agree that a main audience will never care. The videos should be in the middle. I can't speak properly today. In the middle or neutral on her. Sure, but then you know they. I think that there's going to be parts of Keffals' audience who are a bit. It's like a fucking ebbing. It's ebbing away, you know. And this will just be the final straw that broke the camel's back. Oh, hey, Creeman. What I hate is that scum like Xander Hall and Wu, who obviously knew all of this, suddenly waking up after 3 years and being applauded for it. Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
That's wonderful.
Anyway, with that being said, let's watch this and see what they say. I'm very interested to see what their new take is.
Back in 2022, TYT covered a story involving a transgender streamer named Clara Sorrenti, who goes by Keffals. Now, at the time, she had alleged that she had been violently swatted by anti-trans harassers on a platform called Kiwi Farms.
Oh.
Many elements to the story ended up being false, and we unwittingly helped her promote her fraudulent crowdfunding effort.
Oh my God,
now, a streamer
that's
by
crazy.
The name of Muta investigated Keffals and provided the receipts indicating that she is in fact a fraud. It is a lengthy video and he gets into other issues with Keffals that I'm not gonna get into because we didn't talk about those other issues. But if you wanna watch that video, and I highly recommend you do, you can watch it on his YouTube channel, Some Ordinary Gamers. We will also link to it in the description box.
Well, I mean, you know, this is like, dude, the amount of journalists that just blindly parroted the sort of Keffals literal PR campaign, like press releases and stuff, that are probably just going to try and ignore this, and are probably not going to engage with it. The fact that TYT are willing to just completely take the L is based. I think that's great. I think that's very credible. You know, lends credibility to their organization. One thing I would say that's worth pointing out, though, I don't know if this would have any influence over this, but don't forget that Keffals has gone after TYT before, so you know, that could well have influenced their decision to do this. Possibly, I can't say for sure, but nonetheless, regardless of that, I think it is very positive that someone is willing to come forward and say, "Yep, we got it totally wrong. We helped to promote." I mean, you know, we helped to promote a fucking fraudulent GoFundMe campaign. Is crazy.
Now let's actually get into the nitty-gritty. Now, after she had been swatted, and by the way, she was swatted. That's the one thing that is true. But after she had been swatted, she launched a GoFundMe on August 9th of 2022 to raise money after the incident. And it's important to outline exactly what she claimed she was doing with the money, why she was raising the money, and how she was going to use the money. Let's watch.
The video is posted alongside a GoFundMe with the stated intent of helping Clara recoup her losses, move immediately, and build a legal fund to protect her rights. It received widespread media attention, bringing in over $100,000 in donations.
I don't even think it's an L at this point. Disavowing it's a win now.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
I don't know
money
about that
off depressed
personally.
people?
Anna tends to be a bit more based sometimes. Anyways, happy Thursday, everyone.
Thank you very much for the $20, LGB Taliban. Thank you. I mean, I just think it's, you know, it's like, it's quite a low bar. Like, if you make a mistake that significantly with someone, like, it should just be the norm that you go, okay, I was wrong about that, I fucked up, etc. You know? That's the standard thing that you should do. It shouldn't be like a massive thing. So yeah, I don't know if I'd call it a win. Just like, good. Yeah, that's, you know, how it should be, right?
So just to review, the money she raised, according to the GoFundMe page,
It's a
was
win
meant
for
to
us.
help
Well,
her move immediately.
I don't really like seeing it like that. Okay, I mean, you know, obviously, I was too nice to Keffals at the start. I never really supported the Drop Kiwi Farm stuff, but I definitely, you know, it I bought into the idea of Kiwi Farms being worse than it is, you know. So like when we put some videos out, I felt bad that Keffals was getting a lot of shit, and I said to DK, let's not go too crazy, you know. Let's just, you know, do the video, but keep it easy going. So that was something I regret. But I never supported the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign. I thought that was kind of dumb. And obviously, Sweeper Logic. Yep, Sweeper Logic, true. But yeah, over time, obviously, the big thing that really kind of, you know, made me just see how crazy it was when all the information came forward in regards to the DIY HRT stuff. That freaked me the fuck out. I was like, holy shit, that is crazy. You know, all the fucking going after the miners, shit like that. That was pretty insane. And then obviously, as time went on, the fact that the 100K had very likely been misspent, the fact that Keffals had this drug problem that came up, and no one seemed to question, well, that's obviously where the fucking 100K went.
Press 1 if you would schlong down Anna, press 2 if you wouldn't, and press 3 if you would. Well, you know.
Thank you very much for the $5. Chud is sometimes too fair. Yes, I agree with you, 100% correct. You know, so yeah, you know, but the thing is like, everyone has come to this, lots of people have come to the realization in their own time, okay? I think eventually everyone will come to this realization, except for maybe the very core fan base. But I think now it is like the safest time to come out and be critical of Keffals, right? Like it is just the easiest time to do it because this Muta video is so damning and Keffals' credibility has been quite diminished already. So now is the easiest time. And I don't think it's a win to come out about it necessarily, but it's the right thing to do if you have promoted it way more in the past. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's the way I see it anyway.
For her own safety after she had been swatted, recoup her losses of electronic devices that she said the cops had seized, that they'd taken from her, and also sue the London Police Service in Ontario, Canada, where the swatting happened, and to protect her rights, which she reiterated in a later stream.
To my lawyer today, and it's looking like January is the month where I'm going to be filing against the London Police Service.
But she lied about the nature of the swatting itself, and we don't know what she did with the money. Okay, well, we have an idea of what she did with the money based on some of her own admissions, and we're gonna get into that in just a moment. And based on her own admission, she did not use the money that she crowdfunded for the intended purposes. Now,
I came from Bloodsports though, so that makes sense. If you came from Twitch poll, I can imagine how you'd have a pretty skewed opinion of the site by default. Well, yeah, I mean, from my perspective, you know, back then, before then, like I remember telling someone that they'd been doxxed on Kiwi Farm, happy to see it. And Now I think I actually was worse in that situation, right? Because they were docs and they probably never would have known. But me telling them brought it to their attention, so I probably fucked them over, to be honest. Because if you get doxed, you'd rather just not know, you know? It's unlikely that you're going to need to know about that. You probably just ignore it if you're a small creator particularly. Obviously, if you're a bigger creator, I think that you probably need to contact the police and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the funny irony of it, though, is that the whole Drop Kiwi Farms campaign led to me growing to understand it more and to learn about it more. And over time, my perspective on it is completely 180'd. And obviously, I talk about it a lot, but I just don't really think it's a problem. I mean, I know that it's not nice to have your address somewhere and all that stuff. All the I don't like doxing, all those takes. But fundamentally, it's just a gossip site, and that's it. It's there to gossip about creators. And if you are able to just kind of ignore it, if you don't want to look at it, you'll probably be fine, you know? But yeah, it's the Drop Kiwi Farm stuff that brought more attention to Kiwi Farms that, you know, you then see more conversation about it. You then realize what it is. You know, especially when you've got a bunch of people that are going super hard for it. It makes you think, well, what is this site? Why is everyone going so fucking crazy over it? Like, I've heard things about it and stuff. You know, it used to be like a Voldemort thing. Don't say Kiwi Farms or you'll get raped. But then when you actually look at it, you're like, okay, I understand it's edgy and it's got bad words on there. And I don't like the doxing shit, really. But like, okay, I mean, it's not that big a deal. Like, it's just people talking. It's just people talking their shit, you know? Like, be critical of it if you want, but to try and take it down is insane. Like, an absolutely absurd thing is to try and take the website down, which is obviously what they were trying to do. You know, especially the way they were going about it as well. Trying to circumvent the law, trying to attack DDoS protection, etc. So yeah, in a funny irony for me personally, it was the campaign that actually made me think, okay, I need to think about this differently. So yeah, funny little irony. I was one person who actually had the mind changed in the other direction by the Drop Kiwi Farms campaign.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
Hey, thanks for the gift of
Killinger
membership.
became a member.
Going back to the swatting, she had complained, or she had claimed that she woke up with the Canadian police pointing a gun to her head. She said that's how the swatting incident went down. She later changed that story and said that the police were banging on her door and she had to put clothes on to answer the door as they were banging on it. Let's take a look.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face at my home. When I was woken up by police officers and saw the assault rifle pointed at me, I thought I was going to die. I feel traumatized.
Her story then changed to an encounter in the hallway. The exact phrasing is that she went into the hallway and then saw the weapon.
The email, Sorrenti says, had given out her real address and resulted in police with guns at her doorstep and her being arrested.
When I went into the hallway.
So yeah, this is a Canadian news organization, right? Like, this went to quite a top level of mainstream media. Hey, Paez with a 199 super sticker, a red hand pointing up. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, this went pretty fucking mainstream. This is like a mainstream Canadian press outlet, right?
And then saw that assault rifle. I screamed and I thought I was going to die.
A month later, she admitted that they didn't enter her apartment until after she was in custody.
They did not go into my apartment until after I was in custody.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's going to make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So she went from saying
the shilling. I can't really hate for the shilling. Apparently it does happen twice though, which is quite a lot for an 18-minute video, but you know, I guess times are tough over at TYT. To be fair to TYT, I think that, you know, I think that they probably, I don't know what I was going to say to you. It's just they've not moved with the times. I think they've got an old style of content. They need to mix it up, freshen it up a bit, to be honest. Wow, what a poor innocent victim. I think I should blindly support her for 3 years, contrary to all evidence, then jump ship when the walls close in. Queen is out for blood, it seems.
That she woke up with the police pointing a gun to her head, to changing the story and then changing it back. She changed the story to, no, I met the police outside in the hallway and they didn't enter my apartment until later. And then she went back to, claiming that she was afraid for her life. I mean, and remember, Keffals had gone so far as to claim that she was a victim of police brutality and even had the audacity to compare herself to Elijah McClain, who was killed after an interaction with cops. That was the story where...
To be fair, once you give it all your money and hear rumors it's going to be wasted on drugs, what are you going to do? Admit you're a total fucking retard? I guess that's more in reference to the people that have supported Keffals blindly for a long time and are only now just twisting around. But yeah, I do think that you see that there is some cope that does exist where it's like, I don't like, there's probably some issue in their own head dealing with this. But it's like, oh, I don't care what Keffals spent the money on. I don't really mind about that. That's fine. Really? Like, if Keffals went and bought, 10 grams of cocaine or something, right? For like, however many dollars, that really wouldn't bother you. You really would not have a problem with, that sort of misappropriation of funds. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, that is the core audience. But I think that is diminishing. And stuff like this can only be a positive for that, I think.
Emergency workers then showed up and injected him with ketamine. And it was just awful, awful story. She compared herself to him, okay? She wrote on Twitter back on September 25th of 2022, every time I see another story involving an innocent black man being killed by the police, I think back to last month when I had an assault rifle pointed at me by the police and how easily that situation could have escalated if I wasn't white. I hope Elijah McClain finds justice.
That's crazy. Is anyone surprised that Anna Kasparian doesn't care about trans lives? Well, no, I think Anna Kasparian is quite woke still. They just always had a problem with the extremities of the trans stuff, didn't they? I would want to see, this is the thing, this is why I say this isn't earth-shattering for me. It's good, but it's not like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Oh my God, I got this. Because TYT have kind of gone in this direction anyway, right? Anna Kasparian has been willing to go against the progressive kind of, mentality, ideology at times when it's kind of contradicted with their own perspectives on stuff. So, I want to see, I don't know, what's those global news or whatever the Canadian thing is, all those Canadian outlets that reported on it, that's when it's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. But I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I think that's probably a bit too much to expect. Thank you for the $2. We ball, people, we ball. Thank you. But, I mean, this is insane. Talk about fucking Floydism. And wait! Hang on a sec, guys. Listen, normally, I don't show my own tweets because it's a bit cringe. It's almost like you're jerking yourself off. Okay? But this is relevant. This is actually fucking relevant to this exact point. So I've got to show you this. I have to show you this. I've got no choice. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'll just let you come to your own conclusions about how relevant it is, okay? Thank you. Thank you very much for the membership. Appreciate it. I think there's an alternate universe out there where George Floyd was trans. Male to female, obviously. And, yeah, probably caused some interesting discourse.
She also alleged that the police confiscated her computer and other electronic devices that she relied on for her livelihood, for her streaming income. But her devices were actually returned shortly after the swatting incident happened. And she discusses that in the clip you're about to watch.
I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup
Turns out getting thrusted by a hard homeless dude will change the way you look at the world.
Hey, thank you for the membership. And also, yes, oh my god, I forgot about that, yeah. Basically, Anna Kasparian was like allegedly assaulted by some sort of homeless person and spoke about her experience, and all the progressives freaked out at her. It's so funny how when you're like a progressive, you say like a kind of minimal thing, criticizing something, which is totally fair and reasonable and all this stuff. And then all these progressives freak the fuck out at you. They cannot handle any sort of, you know, diversion from ideological purity on the progressive stuff. It's crazy.
My losses and build a legal fund to protect my rights.
But there were no losses to recoup. The devices were returned after 3 days.
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
So if you didn't need the money to pay for new devices for your streaming, what did you use the money for? We're gonna get to that in a bit. So she said that she fled Canada for the UK for her own safety, so Kiwi Farms wouldn't be able to find her, which was weird because why the hell would you broadcast to the world where you fled?
Oh my god. You also remember the trans employee flipped and made a hit piece on them. Benji, what? I don't want a dead name. I don't want a dead name. I know they are. I used to fucking raid them when they were a fella back in the day.
But I thought minorities can't do anything.
Corollo. Is that it? Corollo? Or something like that? Benny! That's it, Benny! Oh my goodness. That was funny, wasn't it? There's something very funny to me. Not being transphobic, obviously, right? But you got someone who says they're trans and they're male to female and MTF. And they kind of start their process, right? And they start putting pictures up. And it's like, ooh, don't look good in a dress and stuff. And it's like, that's the point at which that kind of like, you know, dishonesty for the sake of feelings comes into it for certain people, you know? Yes, hun. Yes, hun. You look great, hun.
Fled to if you fear for your own safety.
What is this from Ali?
Well, she actually changed
the resident
that story.
Fucking turf. Ah, yes, they're totally not a fella anymore because they're dressed different and maybe do some funny stuff with their voice. Clown emoji. I feel that's a bit sarcastic, to be honest, but okay.
As well, claiming that she actually fled the country for a different reason, which, by the way, her donors were not informed about. Her donors had donated money to her so she could pay for her moving expenses because she was afraid for her safety due to Kiwi Farms. But that actually wasn't the case. So what was the case? Let's watch.
The truth is, I left the country because of my ex and because I was scared of my ex. Because my ex was abusive and abused me emotionally and yelled at me and consistently coerced me into sex. That's why I left, but I couldn't tell anyone.
No one should believe anything she said.
Why not? Why couldn't you have told anyone about it? The truth of it is, I mean, it's just so obvious, isn't it? Right? The reality is, Keffals saw an opportunity to make an attack against Kiwi Farms. And even if that was the reason, which we don't know one way or another, that was why that was used. That was the, you know, the way to solicit that support further was to just be dishonest about it and claim, yeah, well, it's, you know, because of Kiwi Farms that I've got to move.
Saying no one should take what she says at face value. She's a con artist, she is a liar, and I have no idea what her ex was like or how her ex treated her. I'm just saying that because you should be very suspicious of any claim coming out of this woman's mouth. She is a brazen liar, and we've got more proof of that. So now we know that that the money that she raised to move for her own safety following the swatting due to transphobes was actually used for a different purpose. She
okay, yeah, listen, baked banana, okay? You're not gonna get people, listen, you're not gonna get like a progressive person just come out and go, male, 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 he. It's just not gonna happen, okay? I understand that some people have got a lot of views about it. That's fine. Have your perspective. But progressives have got to, you know, play by the rules in order to make the medicine go down, right? It's, you know, because I think even the Muta video, I think people that were complaining about the misgendering stuff were kind of, people were telling them, don't be fucking retarded. Like, yeah, obviously, you know, we see it differently. But if you go and you, like, you're basically playing into their hands if you do the kind of gendering that you believe is biologically accurate. Because people just will point to that and use it to dismiss the entire thing, you know? They're to latch onto the thumbnail in order to do it. I mean, Keffals even tried to lie again and claim that they were getting misgendered in Mutahar's tweet, which wasn't true, right? So they even tried to use that strategy just based on the tweet alone. So you can only imagine if it's like male, 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 male. It's, you know, you're just undermining your ability to get people onto your kind of perspective from your side, so to speak, you know?
At some point, she alleged that she succeeded in getting Kiwi Farms taken down from the internet. And while that may have been true for a very, very short period of time, that wasn't actually the case. Kiwi Farms is up and running, stronger than ever. And she refused to accept that and acknowledge that.
Kiwi Farms won! 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 Do you know what it is as well? Kiwi Farms is dead. Okay, where is the video?
Arms down.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Oh my gosh.
How's it going?
I see chat is...
Internet infrastructure company Cloudflare blocks anti-trans website Hate Online has a new chapter. This is from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The internet infrastructure company Cloudflare announced on Saturday it would block a Kiwi Farms website, which has long been the subject of hate comments and targeted hostility and threats towards trans people.
Okay, I would like to address something that I keep seeing. I'm in the French press too.
And the Dutch press.
And the Dutch press. Estonian, Dutch. Oh my god. This has been so wild. I do want to say something.
This was not a one-time thing either, right? These people were like documenting and celebrating and clapping at every fucking turn of this going on, you know? Rubbing their hands together like a certain caricature at every single angle this was happening. All on the basis of fraudulent bullshit nonsense, you know, press releases, which massively overstated what Kiwi Farms was, what it did, what it was all about, supported by the mainstream press. Like, it's like so, it's still so irritating to look back on. Just celebrating internet terrorism, just a celebration of internet terrorism. There's a website here that is legal by American standards. We don't like it though, because we don't like the situation. Because we don't, it's got bad stuff on there about us. It's got our address on there. Oh my goodness, you know. Oh, it's got stuff about bad things I've done on there. So we're going to circumvent the law and take it down ourselves.
Going after 4chan.
Where's the moment
next.
they like celebrate?
I'm not going after Mumsnet or Over It. ASN is inactive. Drop linkies up there.
Thanks for the bits.
ASN type inactive. Oh, so 1776 can't allocate IPs anymore.
What does that mean?
Can a dweeb nerd in chat explain?
We need nerds.
Any dweebs? So
no IP allocation, no domain hosting. They got dropped. So he lost his hosting. He lost his fucking hosting. It's gone.
Did this happen live?
Did this happen? Was this live?
No shot. The timing on this is every single part of the timing of this has been incredible.
Wait. Does that mean the Tor is down?
I don't know. I don't have a Tor browser on this user account.
Yeah, the Tor is down.
The Tor has been down for an hour. Oh, Jesus.
Let's fucking go.
They can't sneed.
All right, fucking put on pack watch. I gotta pack watch this shit.
Hearing Twitch line come out in an Irish accent is awesome. Welcome.
We're doing it live. Yes, there it is.
That's actually not it.
Oh, it's not? You know what? I'm just gonna check the fucking
Kiwi Farms
signal.
Is dead. It's intermittent by the looks of it. This is as good as dead. Off the clear net, off the web.
And he was trying to say something, but the chat's way too fast. S-Queer just tweeted. What is his tweet?
Where?
It's up in the KGG chat. 1776. Yo! Yo!
Oh, look who it is as well. Look who it is too. Esquire. Another fucking shameful woman who fucking cheered this on as this was happening and fucking participated in this. I just, you know, dude.
It's fucking over. No host, no DDoS protection, nothing.
1776 Solutions, previously known as Final Solutions LLC, is over. The timing on this is incredible. Like it's the comedic timing on every single part of this has been outstanding.
I love this live stream. Live updates on the ruination of Joshua Moon's life.
Very sad, isn't it?
Bro!
Very sad.
This is not aged well. No, I'm surprised this is still up, to be honest. But there's two reasons I wanted to just play this. One is because of how shameful it is and how, you know, it makes you realize just how much they were celebrating when the shoe was on the other foot, you know? So, like, you know, sympathy is evaporated, you know, completely for me. And I think that the other reason is people watch this. Like, look, there's a lot of things you can say about Keffals fans, okay? Certainly. Or people that were celebrating at the time, right? But people were lied to. Or, you know, at least not kept up abreast of updates. Because people looked at this and thought, that's it, Kiwi Farms is done. And were never told otherwise. So there was this myth that persisted that Kiwi Farms was down. And the Drop Kiwi Farms thing was a successful campaign. And they destroyed Kiwi Farms. And that wasn't corrected. There wasn't a video that was like, oh, by the way, guys, it wasn't actually that successful. Because they wanted to ride the wave. They wanted to ride the crest of the wave of all of this forever. You know, that we took down Kiwi Farms. But unfortunately, Kiwi Farms was more resilient than that. And Josh Moon was more resilient than that and pushed forward. And obviously it continues to this day. But I think even within weeks, I think, of this stream happening, maybe even sooner than that, Kiwi Farms was, you know, back up. And no update was provided. Yeah, like a week later or something, I think. It was like back up and like, you know, no correction, no like, oh, by the way, guys, you know, just to let you know. And the thing is too, is, you know, the impression was put in people, especially like maybe a trans person or something, if their details were on there, they would have watched this and thought, oh, you know, I'm safe from my perception of whatever the risk is, right? So people would have, you know, potentially had a perception that the risk of whatever they thought was gone. I'm not saying that there was an actual risk, but like from their perception, they're perceiving it as a risk. They think the risk is gone and they're not updated on that. So they can, you know, I don't know what you do about it if you knew it was back up, but you know what I mean? It's like people were led to believe something and celebrated it because they felt a certain way about it. It was essentially turned out to be completely not true and never informed. I think, in fact, Keffals only ended up mentioning the fact that Kiwi Farms was up when it was politically expedient for them to do so. And they could use it as an opportunity to you know, I can't remember what the exact thing was, but it was, you know, Keffals mentioned it, but it was in the pursuit of their own goals or their own aims, not just a generic, hey guys, it's back up. You know, very fucking dishonest.
That's a smaller thing. For me, the biggest issue here is the fact that she took advantage of kind-hearted people who donated their hard-earned money to help.
Wait a second. Kiwi Farms, well, but that's the thing, isn't it, right? Kiwi Farms was never a big mainstream fucking site, okay? It was never something that people would like go and Google and you'd find it and look at it that way, right? It was a very kind of specialist interest, laughing at lolcows, gossip forum kind of thing, you know? And Keffals bought it. Keffals talking about it brought way more attention to it than it ever would have gotten without Keffals talking about it, right? So it was never really a big deal in the first place. But Keffals wanted to make it a big deal to try and become famous off of it and overstate what it was and stuff like that, and got a lot, you know, do you know what I mean? It's like, it was never a massive thing in the first place. It's like the Streisand effect.
Help her out. And they ended up donating money to her when she lied about a whole host of things and did not end up using the money, over $100,000, on the intended purposes. So let's talk about where the money was actually spent. So when it comes to her new place, it turns out that she did pay rent for a new place. I mean, she didn't move for the reasons that she originally stated to raise the money, which was that she was afraid of kiwi farms. She moved because she was allegedly emotionally abused by her ex, which again, don't take anything she says at face value. And so she did pay for rent though. And she—
Yeah, remember as well, with the ex thing, the only reason that Keffals talked about the ex was because Keffals was currently, at the time, in a beef with Xanderhall, and Xanderhall retweeted something referencing that the ex had come out with a story about Keffals, and then Keffals used that as an opportunity to come up with a story about this alleged abuse of the ex in order to nuke Xanderhall, right? And then, of course, Xanderhall had those leaks that Nicholas has now shown, but wasn't allowed to leak them under penalty of his website getting fucked with. So Xanderhall got, you know, completely fucked in that whole drama. Basically had his hands tied behind his back trying to fight Keffals, or Keffals had, like, you know, the audience to kind of capitalize on with the emotional shit, with the alleged ex abuse. And yeah, was, you know, then had White Nervosa on their side to stop Xanderhall from coming out with the leaks.
But how do I make money off depressed
Thank you for
people?
the 333.
TYT pissed on the ashes of Keffals and its career. How long before they eat each other for sustenance?
Who knows?
She
Thank you for the
admitted
333.
that in the clip you're about to watch.
I'm using the GoFundMe money to pay an entire year in advance.
Now, which is not something she ever said she was going to do, and a huge departure from just moving. Clara moves into a luxury apartment and with a low approximation amounting to $28,000.
She moves into a luxury apartment and pays a full year of rent up front using that GoFundMe money, which she admitted in the clip that we showed you. Okay, great. She also admitted to using money to buy new streaming equipment for her new place with professional studio lights and everything. She also talked about using the money for her personal security.
I consulted with a security company and they made all of my devices hack-proof, and they gave me tips on not getting doxxed again. They also helped me with a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't talk.
The tips being, stop posting pictures of your fucking hotel bed sheets, idiot. Like all the people were telling you, stop posting your location everywhere. Hack-proof, yeah, I mean, that's... I think that was the... what's that trans individual who used to be in the military? That's going to go off in a second. Oh, what's the name? Linked to Edward Snowden. Got put in jail. Which one? Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Unique McGee. Okay. Yeah, Chelsea Manning. Chelsea Manning. Oh! Lady Raincloud. There's a blast from the past. Chelsea Manning. Stop dead naming, guys. Stop dead naming.
Okay,
Come on.
wonderful.
Come on now.
But how do I make money off
Thank you for the
depressed
bits.
people?
I think Chelsea Manning was involved in that.
Talk about because I signed an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement. I already hired a lawyer, and all of the information between me and my lawyer is privileged and confidential, and I can't talk about it. So the money towards a legal fund is being utilized, but until the point where I can actually talk about what I'm doing, I can't say anything.
That's very convenient that, you know, you can't really talk about the details of how you're using that money for a legal fund. Okay. And she possibly used some of that money on drugs and definitely on rehab.
8 days into a cocaine bender, I found out that the coke that I was doing was cut with meth. So for 8 days straight, I was doing coke and meth. Started doing coke and meth.
Hang on a sec. That's something else I've thought. Why would a drug dealer blend coke and meth?
Okay, that's
I guess
wonderful.
meth is
But how
cheaper.
do I
Is that
make
what it is?
money
But if you're
off
going to cut
depressed people?
cocaine, you do it with like, what's the name of the thing that make you rub it on your gums and makes it numb? There's a kind of there's a drug it's commonly cut with benzocaine, I think is what it's called, right? Is it benzocaine? Novocaine. Is Novocaine? Novocaine or something. Not fentanyl, no. Anyway, the point is I would have presumed the drug dealer would just use a much cheaper substance than meth. Surely you just use, you know, any cheap shit that you would find, right? Novocaine. Novocaine. Yeah. Because if you rub Novocaine on your gums, it makes it feel numb. So it makes it seem more like cocaine than maybe it is. Vitaly knows. Okay. Grounded stone. I mean, there's some look, it's been a long time, but yeah, once you find a good dealer who you can trust, you're laughing, you know? But dodgy dealers. Funnily enough, there is a kind of there does tend to be a bit of a racial divide when it comes to dealers being good or bad. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that before, but something I've certainly noticed. And no, it's been a long... Dude, I do not really do drugs anymore. It's not a thing I really do that much anymore. How did Keffals test... Oh, hey, Nicholas. How did Keffals test the cocaine's makeup to determine there was meth? What method did she use? True.
And benzos. And I was planning on ordering from the dark net.
After the backlash, Clara went into rehab
What's
on February
heroin?
22nd. In the next few days, I will be admitted to rehab. The doctor said that because of the drugs I'm
that's
addicted to
wonderful.
without medical
But how do I
supervision,
make
detoxing
money
will kill
off
me.
depressed people?
This person can get her hands on coke illegally but can't buy a drug test kit off fucking Amazon legally.
Thank you for the $5.
I'm inclined to believe her on this, given that she didn't return until about a month later. Clara later admitted that she spent more money going to rehab than she ever had on actual drugs.
I was in rehab for 34 days before I discharged. I went to the addiction rehabilitation Toronto facility, and it was one of the best decisions I think I've ever made.
While Addiction Rehab Toronto doesn't have prices listed on their sites, aggregators like recovery.com price a 30-day stay at the facility at 20,000 Canadian dollars. And that is a fourth of the entire dollar amount. It's hard to believe that expense on top of buying enough.
Oh, cut it with meth to make it seem better. Oh, I see. Got you. Okay. Yeah. Of course, that makes sense. I mean, to be honest with you, whenever I hear people talking about drugs, I'm like, oh, damn. It's like, you know, be good to have a little tickle, wouldn't it, for every now and then? But I'm too old for it now. Too old for it
Enough
these days.
drugs to end up there in the first place had no bearing on how that GoFundMe money was used. One of her mods admitted the habit went a bit into the fun money at the end.
Bit of a
However
tickle.
much a bit is, we might never know.
Amazing. And finally, I think one of the most damning parts of this lengthy video.
Buy some sniff right now. I literally wouldn't, well, I could probably message a friend and sort something out, but I used to have like a dealer's number. I used to drive, you know, to the house, get in the car. You know, it was it was like 50 quid for a gram of bash. That was the stuff the students normally went for, which was sold as a kind of weaker, you know, it was cocaine, but it was mixed up and shit, right? And that was the student stuff. And then you would get the, you know, the more expensive stuff, which is for the young professionals. But it is obviously difficult. Like, you never know what you're getting. You literally never know what you get. You have to kind of hope you find a dealer that's decent. Comes with recommendations. You know, I used to pay cash. I didn't used to suck his dick. What are you talking about, dude? That's insane. Women, another advantage women have got, okay? So I've known women in the past, right? What was the person's name? Oh, God, what was the person's name? I can't remember the name. Anyway, they would just openly, like, fuck a dealer for you know, freebies, you know? Crazy the advantages women have in society. Cocaine, ketamine. Oh, my God. Oh, cocaine, ketamine. Where is she now?
Video that Muta put together had to do with a damning leak from a private group chat that Keffals was part of. She talks about the money that was crowdfunded, what it was used for, and how quickly it was depleted.
This is what I was shown. The first is from a screenshot from a private group chat dated November 30th, 2022. Feels really bad watching the GoFundMe deplete. The rest will cover a year's rent and my psych fees if I talk to a psychologist once a week for the next 11 months. Ellen tried to comfort me by reminding me that it was an emergency fund. I kept trying to think of how it depleted so fast, and it's just so many little things. Travel and replacing furniture and helping my friends out, buying new streaming gear and clothes. If legitimate, this is an admission that the GoFundMe had greatly depleted after.
Sorry, I actually, some of this stuff I missed when I watched this. Helping my friends out. What the fuck does helping my friends out mean exactly? What, you just give them money? Just give them a bit of money out of your GoFundMe when you've not even advertised it as that, dude. Yeah, here's a couple of grand. Go crazy. Good luck. Bro, that is fucking nuts, dude.
After just 2 months.
Did the donors know that Keffals was going to spend the money on psych fees, on streaming equipment, on all these things that were not listed on her GoFundMe page? Of course they didn't know that.
By the way, I know it's a massive amount of money, 100K, but this is just the tip of the GoFundMe trans industrial complex. And I reckon if you audited all of those fucking jobless individuals who are sat there just doing GoFundMes all the time to live, I would wager that you'd probably find a lot of misappropriation and what you legally could even maybe be classed as embezzlement and shit like that, right? Oh, I need money for rent. Please give me money for rent. Is that money spent on rent? Maybe. Is it spent on a bunch of other shit that's not supposed to be for? Probably. You know? But to be honest with you, I think at this stage, if you are giving money to random, let's be real, trans individuals on the internet that are asking for money for monthly expenses, I think you've only got yourself to blame. I don't think you should really, you know, I don't think you can really complain at this point, like you are making a bad financial decision.
Did they know that the group that Keffals was actually harassed by was not Kiwi Farms, based on the research that Muta did? It was a different
Doc spin. God, I'm so sick of all these people acting like it's Voldemort. Just say it. Jesus Christ.
Platform that she, for whatever reason, did not want to go after because she didn't want to draw attention to them because of what they had been posting on their platform. Listen, I feel sick to my stomach knowing that I amplified a con artist on the show. Obviously, I did not know she was a con artist. I did not do that on purpose. But at the end of the day, I'm the host and I am responsible for what I say on this program. I'm sure some of our viewers, unfortunately, donated money to her out of the kindness of their hearts because they thought they were helping her.
That's probably true.
And so these are the kinds of stories that keep me up at night because, as I've said before on this show, I feel that I have a responsibility to the audience. And if I ever make a mistake, as I did with this story, I am going to take the time to correct it and take full responsibility for it. We have made changes in how we decide to cover certain stories now. For instance, we will not be promoting any crowdfunding unless we can vouch for the crowdfunding ourselves.
Honestly, I just think with the way crowdfunding is nowadays, I don't think that any crowdfunding is worthy of any trust. You know, how can you verify it? Like, I mean, if you as an individual want to give money because you see something in it, go fucking nuts. But as a creator to promote a crowdfund,
okay, that's
you know?
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
The latest Vitaly kick pedo sting operation with Sneeko and Myron is wild.
Thank you for the 10 Australian dollars. Might save that for tomorrow, but I do want to have a look. Thank you very much for the super chat. Donate to me and my drug fund instead. Well, I just think, you know, here's the other thing too, right? with how things are now, okay, right? I think that if you're like sat at home doing nothing and just begging for cash in a GoFundMe, fire up a fucking stream, you fucking lazy rat. You know? Do something. Make a video. Sell something on a fucking Etsy store. Stitch something together and sell it on an Etsy store. Oh, do you know what I mean? Like, do something. Don't just sit there and expect people to fucking provide you with your fucking living expenditure. It's crazy. Dance, monkey, dance. Dance, monkey, dance.
Unless we know the individual personally who is trying to raise money. But I would also say that for all the other mainstream media outlets who fell for this con artist, that includes The Guardian, CNN, NBC News, NPR.
The Guardian.
Can we get a correction from you guys too?
Oh, yo!
Because they seem to never want to revisit the work they've done and the misreporting they've engaged in. The fact that they were conned by a con artist like Keffals. And there's so many people in this country, myself included previously, who trusted these sources. And now I don't trust any of them. Because not only did they also get the story wrong, they never correct the record. And I'd like to see that correction because a bunch of people around the world were totally conned into donating to this woman's crowd fund. So she could spend the money on all sorts of stuff like a year worth of rent, psych fees, streaming equipment, rehab. If people want to donate money to her for those purposes, that's great, but she should be upfront about it, and she wasn't. She lied to people.
Kind of spitting right now.
She kept changing her story. Streamers stream all day long, so it's really hard to catch those moments when the stories are changing, because if you're an adult with a full-time job, you don't have time to sit around and watch a stream all day. But at the end of the day, like, CNN has the resources to dig a little deeper, and they didn't.
CNN do an article about Keffals.
And so I'm sorry to you guys. I think everyone who donated to that crowd fund need answers from Keffals, and they should be issued a refund immediately. She immediately responded to this news and the takedown video, very deeply researched video that you guys should watch for yourselves. You know how she responded to it? She said it's transphobic because she didn't like the thumbnail art that was used to depict her.
There's no way! TYT went there! The thing that I've been covering. That's mental. ChudLogic on TYT coming soon, guys, okay? Just you wait. TYT sponsored rape review. That's what we're going to be getting, all right? Reach out. TYT, I'm open to offers. Come on, let's go. The only thing I ask for is complete journalistic independence. That's it. And we'll be golden.
Welcome to Chud.
It's the same type.
Refund the trans money now.
Hey, thank you for the sub. Thank you, Spectre Dave.
Type of art that's used in other thumbnails to depict other people. The weaponizing, the transphobe thing, not gonna work here.
Thanks for the $2.
The only bad person in this story is Keffals, who literally lied to people and stole money from them.
Yes, Ali, I think you're right. I do think that people are rejecting more and more the transgender persecution complex. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say the narcissistic transgender persecution complex. That's I think how I see it. But yeah, it's pretty based.
Those people deserve answers. I don't want to hear anything else from her mouth unless she's addressing when and how she's going to refund the people that she defrauded. And again, I apologize to our audience. I take full responsibility, and I'm going to be a lot more careful and a lot more skeptical of people moving forward.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it comes to the show.
Support is through YouTube memberships. You get to interact with us more. There's live chat, emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun.
Thanks for the bits.
You also get
Rage, appreciate
playback of our exclusive member-only shows. And
dude, that is crazy. The TYT shilling not once but twice. Holy potatoes, that's crazy. It's chunk yogurt, guys. Yeah, what does he fucking ask Hassan for a bit of dough? Hassan's fucking rolling in it.
Off depressed people.
Chud, if I remember correctly, wasn't Keffals trying to litigate the police to pay for their rehab so they can steal even more funds? Shameful
Possibly.
display.
Thank you, an Austrian painter, for the 333. I'm not going to shill just yet, I don't think. We'll go a bit longer. We'll go a bit longer and then we'll shill, okay? That's what we're going to do.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I
Hey,
make
thanks for the
money
$2.
off depressed people?
Keffals may do a James Summerton, but really do it. Okay, listen, I'm not going to comment on that idea, okay? I disavow. I disavow any comments about suicide, okay?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
I pray for all involved. Hey, everyone has got to shill their shit. I mean, yeah, it's odd because the Young Turks doesn't seem like the kind of org to do that sort of thing, but I guess if times are tough. It said it's twice in one video. That's kind of crazy for me, but hey. I guess times are tough over at TYT HQ. Oh, yeah, Stylo. I've got the Lord Envy stuff. I've actually got the Lord... we got a double feature rate review. We've got DJ Academics and the Lord Envy stuff.
Okay,
and I don't know if you're aware...
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Hey!
Needs to get in here and shill.
Thank you for the $10. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Lord Envy's responded whilst playing Pokemon. And it's in a Pokemon video. So that's going to be fun to look at later. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Right. Anyway, before that, I will quickly shill. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. It is appreciated. Once again, we're having a good stream today. I don't know about the DJK stuff, but it sounded a little too Courtney Orchard for me, so I tuned out quickly. Okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Honestly, look. I don't know. Yes, I've seen the Nerd City stuff. There's just too much happening. It's always the way on a Thursday. I will get to the Nerd City shit at some point. Replying on Reddit is a mistake. Just don't bother. That's my advice. Right. So, obviously, the Keffals stuff is very interesting to me for a number of reasons. One is because it tends to get quite a lot of views when the segment goes up onto YouTube. So, we are milking this for as much as it's fucking worth. Okay? I don't know if I'm going to cover every single retraction. I'm more interested in the main ones, really. Like, if a news org does, I'll probably cover that. But this one, I mean, dude, the thing is, it's really, I find it a bit annoying when, like, someone like Brianna Wu does the most basic stuff, clearly for political reasons.
But how do I make
and people are like, well done.
Off depressed people?
Well done, Brianna.
2024A.
It's so obviously...
Worth of drama.
Thank you very much for the $5.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, if you go on TYT, ask for payment in the form of Anna's feet.
And Puddle Sucker with the $5, thank you. Yes, Wu is a fucking enormous snake. It's so obvious, you know? Like, just like a political operator. It's so clear. The last time I spoke to Brianna Wu was probably 7 months ago or something like that. And she got into some gay beef with President Sunday and came on the stream to talk about it. And I was just like, I don't really care about this. Like, why? Like, it was like trying to use my stream as a way to, like, launder some news or something, like in the drama cycle that had come out. And it wasn't even that big a deal. It was just like some gay... Yes, Stylo, exactly what I'm talking about, yeah. It was some gay, like, Wix. It was like some gay server... Wick, fucking retard Wick. Some server drama or something. And I wasn't even covering it or talking about it because it was so bullshit and minimal. But we still came on to, like, spin the narrative on, like, a drama channel like mine. I don't know, it just made me feel, I was like, fuck off. Like, why are you coming onto my stream to, like, pre-sweep for some controversy you're involved in? How's the Progressive Victory sponsor? I don't have a Progressive Victory sponsorship and never have. I've never taken a single cent for... Is this a thing that people think? I've never taken a single cent for Progressive Victory, ever. If anything, I've been a detriment because I went on their stream where it's really fucking racist. But no, I've never taken a single cent from Progressive Victory. Apparently, from what I've heard on the grapevine, I was being eyed up as a potential Progressive Victory person, but I think I was considered too much, a bit too much, you know, a bit too hot to handle, so to speak. But yeah, no, I've never taken a single cent from fucking any organization to spin any narrative, to give any perspective, nothing. And I never will. Fiercely independent, that's what I am, okay?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Thank you very much for the sub. Yes, dude, it's insufferable. Well, Creeman's got a point, yeah. Yeah, they had a fucking Bosch video. They had a Bosch video when he's got his fucking horse lolly controversy. Insane. But yeah, anyway, it's, yeah, whatever, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I find it very fucking annoying because I know that Brianna Wu is like just a political operator. And all of this that you're seeing is like an aspect of that. Because Brianna Wu, like, defended Keffals for ages, right? And I mean defended, not just like was nice, like defended Keffals, like tweeting out about Keffals. And, you know, I saw a clip of Recator Law and, you know, there's a tweet of Brianna Wu that Recator Law was going over and it was just explicitly defending what Keffals was doing. Crazy. So anyway, I just find it very irritating that, you know, there's people that are now kind of like, oh, wow, Brianna Wu based. It's like, no, it's not fucking based. It's not based at all. You know, it is exactly what Queen was talking about earlier, where it's like, now that everything that's happened to disavow, especially when Keffals has, like, you know, attacked Brianna Wu, it's like, no.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Like,
but how do I
well
make
done for doing the
money
bare minimum
off
at the
the
latest
press
possible time for yourself.
Victory and
It's so
Wu backs
crazy to me that
anyway.
people are acting like this is
Thanks
good.
for your support.
Now, I've obviously seen the tweet where Brianna said, oh, I've woken up and I've changed my mind now. But yeah, I don't know. It's really fucking annoying.